In a democracy, all power does not rest with any one organ of the government. An intelligent sharing of power among different organs, that is, legislature, executive, and judiciary, is very important for the design of democracy. In this chapter, from the stories of Belgium and Sri Lanka, you will learn the idea of power sharing and the different forms of it. Belgium is a small country in Europe with a population of over 1 crore. It is about half the population of Haryana. Of the country's total population, 59% lives in the Flemish region and speaks Dutch language. 40% of people live in Wallonia region and speak French, and remaining 1% speak German. Whereas in the Belgian capital Brussels, 80% of the population is French speaking and 20% is Dutch speaking. The minority French speaking community was rich and powerful. So they got the benefit of economic development and education. This created tensions between the Dutch speaking and French speaking communities during the 1950s and 1960s. In Belgium, the government handled the community differences very well. To recognize the existence of regional differences and cultural diversities, Belgian leaders amended their constitution 4 times between 1970 and 1993 and came up with a new model to run the government. Let us look at some of the elements of the Belgian model. The constitution prescribes that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Some special laws require the support of the majority of members from each linguistic group. Thus, no single community can make decisions unilaterally. The state governments are not subordinate to the central government. Brussels has a separate government in which both communities have equal representation. Apart from the central and the state government, there is a third kind of government. This community government is elected by people belonging to one language community, Dutch, French, and German speaking. No matter where they live, this government has the power regarding cultural, educational, and language related issues. The Belgian model was very complicated, but it helped to avoid civic strife between the two major communities. Now let us see how the conflicts related to power sharing disputes were resolved in Lebanon. People from various communities lived in Lebanon's capital city Beirut and fought a bitter civil war among themselves. As a result, thousands of people of various communities were either killed or lost their livelihood. At the end of the civil war, Lebanon's leaders came together and agreed to some basic rules for power sharing among different communities. As per these rules, it was agreed that the president would be from Maronite sect of Catholic Christians, the prime minister must be from the Sunni Muslim community, deputy prime minister would be from an Orthodox Christian sect, and speaker from a Shia Muslim. As per the pact, the Christians agreed not to seek French protection and Muslims agreed not to seek unification with the neighboring state of Syria. Now let us take the situation of another country, Sri Lanka. It is an island nation having a population of 2 crores, about the same as in Haryana. Sri Lanka has a diverse population. The major social groups are the Sinhala speakers, 74%, and the Tamil speakers, 18%. Among Tamils, there are 2 subgroups, Sri Lankan Tamils and Indian Tamils. In Sri Lanka, the Sinhala community enjoyed the bigger majority and imposed its will on the entire country. Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948. The Sinhala community was in the majority, so they had formed the government. They also followed preferential policies that favored Sinhala applicants for university positions and government jobs. These measures taken by the government gradually increased the feeling of alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. Sri Lankan Tamils felt that the constitution and government policies denied them equal political rights and discriminated against them in getting jobs and other opportunities and ignored their interest. Due to this, the relationship between the Sinhala and Tamil communities became poor. Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language, for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education and jobs. But their demand was repeatedly denied by the government. The distrust between the two communities turned into widespread conflict and turned into a civil war. As a result, thousands of people of both the communities have been killed. Many families were forced to leave the country as refugees, and many more lost their livelihoods. The civil war ended in 2009 and caused a terrible setback to the social, cultural, and economic life of the country. What do we learn from the stories of Belgium and Sri Lanka? Both countries are democracies, but they dealt differently with the concept of power sharing. In Belgium, the leaders have realized that the unity of the country is possible only by respecting the feelings and interests of different communities and regions. This resulted in mutually acceptable arrangements for sharing power. Sri Lanka shows that if a majority community wants to force its dominance over others and refuses to share power, it can undermine the unity of the country. What is power sharing? Power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. Let us call this set of reasons prudential. The prudential reasons stress that power sharing will bring out better outcomes. The second reason is that a democratic rule involves sharing power with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effects. People have a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. This set of reasons can be called as moral. The moral reasons emphasize the act of power sharing as valuable. It upholds power sharing as the very spirit of democracy. Most of you must think that sharing power is equal to dividing power. That means weakening the country. And a similar thing was believed in the past. It was assumed that all the power of the government must reside in one person or group of persons located at one place. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to make quick decisions and to enforce them. But these notions have changed with the emergence of democracy. In a democracy, people rule themselves through institutions of self-government. Everyone has a voice in the shaping of public policies. Therefore, in a democratic country, political power should be distributed among citizens. What are the principles of a good democracy? They are: power of a government must not vest in one person or a group of persons. People are the source of all political power. Due respect should be given to diverse groups and everyone should have a voice in the shaping of public policies. In modern democracies, power sharing can take many forms. How is it possible? Power is shared among different organs of government such as the legislature, executive and judiciary. This is called horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs of government placed at the same level to exercise different powers. In a democracy, Ministers and government officials exercise power. They are responsible to the parliament or state assemblies. The judges appointed by the executive can check the functioning of executive or laws made by the legislature. Such separation ensures that none of the organs can exercise unlimited power. Each organ checks the others. This horizontal distribution of power is called a system of checks and balances. Power can be shared among governments at different levels: a general government for the entire country and governments at the provincial or regional level, which is called federal government. Power may also be shared among different social groups such as the religious and linguistic groups. Community government in Belgium is a good example of this arrangement. This method is used to give minority communities a fair share in power. Power sharing arrangements can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and movements control or influence those in power. When two or more parties form an alliance to contest elections, and if they get elected, they form a coalition government and thus they share the power. In contemporary democracies, power sharing takes the form of competition among different parties. Such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand and is shared among different political parties representing different social groups and ideologies. As we have seen, this type of sharing often leads to the formation of an alliance between two or more parties, which goes to form a coalition government.